What is going on out there in the world of YouTube? As you guys can see, this is Prince Dykes, the Prince of Investing. You guys said you wanted me to do more lives, guys and girls, want me to do more live. So, and I enjoy doing live. I like when you guys come in and talk. So today's been a crazy day on the market. We've had Bitcoin go down and touch $7,000. We got the Dow Jones sliding off by 600 points. We got all type of craziness going on. We got Caleb Bryson said, "What's up? What's going on, Caleb? Y'all come in, y'all hit the thumbs up button. We're gonna have a little discussion. We're gonna talk." Miss Natasha Coots, hey, how is it going? How's it going out there? Hit the thumbs up button as you guys come in. I don't know why they say it's supposed to be something good when you hit the thumbs up button. I see other people on YouTube do it, so I do it too. But anyway, right? William said, "Come with it. I'm so ready for this one." All right. 600 point drop in the Dow Jones, 200 points, right? What's going on? How did this happen? He said Trump done messed up now. That's what William said. But this is the thing about it, right? The market has been on a tear. The market has been at an all-time high. The market has been doing extremely well. And today, I think this is the first time, I don't know, I think the last time it had this far of a fall off was BritX, if you guys remember. That's when the British broke away from the euro or something like that, a currency. And that was about not even a year ago. This is the reason why I think everything's happening. All right, this is just my, of course, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know why. I don't really know 100%. But this is my synopsis. You guys chime in and give me your opinion. Okay, Keller says, likes increase the chances of your video being recommended on YouTube. Okay, cool. All right, well, give me a thumbs up then. But anyway, this is the thing that I think that happened. Let me get to it. The market has been on a tear, right? What goes up must come down. Historically, every 8 years, the market goes into a recession. About every 8 years, right? Who is this? Chad said, why did I move from Hawaii? I'm active duty military. That's why I moved from Hawaii. I'm in Denver, Colorado now. So, yeah, that's why I'm in Denver. But back to the point, right? So now people have been waiting on a decline in the market. So if you guys saw my video, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's called How to Prepare for a Market Crash. One of the ways you prepare for a market crash is you move your money out of stocks and you move them over to bonds. Why do you do that? Because people feel like, hey, stocks are red hot, and let me sell off some of the equities to go into the bond market. So right now, that's one of the big things. Yeah, Jay, yeah, Chad, Jay, 15 years, man, 15 years. 5 more to retirement. But anyway, one of the things that I live, not I live for, but one of the things that I noticed is that when the market, right now we live in a very low interest rate society, very low, historically low interest rate society. And why? I want somebody to chime in and ask me the question, why do we live in a very low interest rate society? And when interest rates rise, what does it do to stocks? Ask yourself that question. When interest rates rise, what does it do to stocks? So that itself, right? We had job report come out. Job reports came out very well. Unemployment is at an all-time low. All indicators, wages are up, unemployment is low. What does that mean? Higher payroll, right? When you have a higher payroll, how does a company pay for a higher payroll? Raises the prices on goods and services. When you gradually raise the prices on goods and services, what is that called? Come on, I don't see nobody commenting. Inflation, right? How do we win? He says, Daniel Harris says, how do we win, bro? Okay, this is my take, right? You got to ask yourself, I don't know how to play short-term plays, right? But I will say this, if I'm going long-term, I wouldn't mind it. I would, what I'm invested in something called a DIA, VOO. Those are the, those are index trackers, right? When you have index tracker, William said, when the Fed interest rates, okay, let's go with Fed interest rate. This is what William Self says. He says, when the Fed interest increases federal funds rate, right? That's the bank. That's the rate the bonds pay. We're going to be kind of learning something here. It does not directly affect the stock market itself. The only true direct effect is that it becomes more expensive for banks to borrow money from the Fed. That's true, right? So, thing about it is, what can you listen? When can you listen? Then I need your help. Okay, I don't know what you meant by that, Daniel. But anyway, right? So you're 100% right. Fed interest rates don't directly connect to the stock market, but when you raise Fed interest rates, it makes it harder to borrow. This is from Google, by the way. I cannot type that. But anyway, the federal funds interest rate is the rate that banks pay. The Federal Reserve, they raise interest rate, it tightens up money. When you tighten up money, when the federal government tightens up money, it makes it harder for companies to borrow. It makes it harder for companies to directly be able to increase their profits. If they can't borrow as much money, if money is not easily accessible, that means usually they hire less people. Less people that have less jobs. When people have less jobs, it's directly to be, not directly, but it's indirectly responsible to where it's a way that the government can slow inflation, right? Now, we've been in a very low interest rate society. People fear that if interest rates go up, it will cool off the stock market. The market has been at an all-time high, and this is something that's happened historically. 8 years ago, what did we have? 2008 market crash. 8 years before that, what did we have? We had you had the internet bubble. 8 years before that. So about every 8 years, it always says, go look at your top buys in the stock market. Yes, great time to buy. It's a great time to buy. How can you profit if it's something that you was looking at getting into? Like if you was looking at getting into Apple, if you was looking at getting into anything, everything was down today. Okay, Daniel Harris says, sorry, I meant, can you listen them? Okay, Julius Bell. So let me finish my thing, but I don't want to get too far off into reading everybody's comments. Then I go through the comments as well. But that's how you have a direct correlation when companies find it harder to borrow money. Now, the thing about it too is you have an unemployment at an all-time low. Okay, well, we'll get into that too. Now, we have an unemployment at an all-time low. We have, which means that a lot of people have jobs. You have the stock market going high. The stock market has been on a tear since 2009. So you guys remember my video, how to prepare for a market crash? This should be no surprise. This is not directly a market crash. And when you say the word a market crash, going into a recession or anything like that, we have to wait for that. I think it's like 60 days or something like that with a 20% more drop. We only had a 2% drop today, so it's nothing to go crazy about. I wouldn't be surprised if it bounced back next week. But on the other flip side of that, we're going to touch on that too. Why do we have, everybody's trying to anticipate when the market downturn or the market cool off will happen. Will the federal government raise interest rates? Will, with unemployment going up and things like that, when the market being so strong, all you have to do is to sit back and say, how can we profit from this? How can you profit from this? If you see a stock that's on sale, go buy it. That's it. Red means sale. Just like when you go to the store, red doesn't mean scared. If you walked into Walmart and it had a bunch of red tags said clearance and you see the price down, what are you going to do? You're going to buy, right? Now, the second part of this video I want to get into Bitcoin. We've seen Bitcoin go all the way down to like 7,000. Now, why the heck Bitcoin really went down? I don't know. It started a little decline yesterday because of political risk, because of, I think it was the Indian government said something about it or whatnot, about banning it. But, I talked to people. Why does it really go down? I don't know. You guys tell me what you think Bitcoin had such a steep slide, and it's kind of down too. And when you look at Bitcoin, when you look at the world of Bitcoin, I had people say I went around and I asked some Bitcoin enthusiasts, what do you think? You guys let me know if this makes sense. They say, hey, well, these big players or these big whales are coming in, big players are coming in, and they want to drive the market down, Why do they want to buy Bitcoin at $18,000 when they can just drive the market all the way down to 7,000? Then they're gonna buy a bunch of it at 7,000, and then they're gonna run it up to 100,000. Does that make sense? Does that make sense what I said? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense what I just said? What I just said, does it make sense? You know, I don't know. To me, and when people say the big players, who are the big players? Are they talking about Goldman Sachs? Are they talking about J.P. Morgan? Are they talking about hedge fund managers? Who the heck are the big players? Everybody keeps saying, man, they are running down the price of Bitcoin. I'm like, who is this? Who are they? Wasn't the whole purpose of Bitcoin to be a new way that nobody could, what you call it? Right? Wasn't Bitcoin supposed to be a new way that nobody's supposed to be able to manipulate it? It's decentralized. Nobody supposed to blah, 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 or whatever. Yes, all right, when you say the institutional money, what is the institutional money? Right? If it's decentralized, if it's free from manipulation and people can't touch it and it's all this other good stuff, right? Now you're telling me, oh yeah, they ran the price down because they wanted to get it for cheap so they can run it up to $100,000. Logically, I don't know. Tasha Coda, that's a hilarious one. Say blame it on the alcohol. Blame it on the alcohol. Well, I haven't heard that one. But ask me that question. What do you think? Does that make logical sense? That don't make logical sense to me. Let me go to some of these. I think Bitcoin brought a lot of new investors to the table, and since the drop, a lot of them have been panicking and pulling out. Probably so. That's it. That's probably a good one too. Daniel Harris says, if for them to capitalism, if the stocks are lowered at the lowest and then rise like the boiler room game. All right. Another one says, Caleb says, sadly, let me see. The abortion of the masses would include investors' money and institutions' money because people are not able to research what's good for them. William Self says Elon Musk did the same damn thing with lithium, and now he owns about 25% of the world's market. Think, people. All right, this America, they are scamming a lot of people. See, it's downplayed. He downplayed it. Okay. Taking everybody's money. So right, people it's mass marketing. When you think about it, when you think about marketing, right? Companies when they want things to go their way, if you have enough money, you can get on Fox News. If you have enough money, you can make a story. You can get onto these blogs that you guys are reading, CNN, NBC, ABC. You can get onto all of those blogs. You can imagine if you put $100,000, $150,000 into bad talking Apple. You run 150. Let's say I can short Apple with $500,000, and I could take $500,000. I could take $150,000 and run ads on how bad Apple is. And an untrained investor who logs onto their phone or their E-Trade account or TD Ameritrade account, and Amazon owns the New York Times. Exactly. They run this big massive ad talking bad about Apple. And people who don't know anything, guess what they do? They go out and they sell their Apple. Man, I heard the company is bad. I heard it's not doing good. And they just run off, right? So don't be fooled by the media. A lot of these things that are coming out about Bitcoin and, South Korea said they're going to ban Bitcoin. People start selling. Then this person, they start selling. So people can manipulate the market. But when you look at manipulation of the market, if your theory is that people are manipulating the Bitcoin market that is unregulated, why would one want to play that game? Can somebody help me out with that? If Bitcoin is unregulated and you are saying that people are manipulating it, why would you want to play that game? Right? That's like rolling the dice with somebody that people are stealing. Okay, Daniel Harris said, how do we find the next Google or Amazon type stock? Right? One thing is with me, I like to invest on what I know. And Danielle, when you go to this is what you gotta ask yourself, Danielle. Derek Butler said you're right. So you gotta ask yourself, Daniel Harris, when you go to the plate, when you start investing, one of my biggest mistakes, when you go to the plate, don't try to hit a home run every time. Think about a base play. Go to, you go to getting to first base is not bad. For a prime example, everybody out there is trying to find the next big thing. Everybody. When you look at, for example, when you look at uh, Shark Tank, what are they trying to do? Find the next big thing. When you look at Amazon, everybody's trying to find the next big thing. And more so than not, most people, it's probably like a 2 to 5% win ratio in the venture capitalist world. But the thing about it is, I don't try to find the next big thing all the time. Invest into what you know, Daniel. Don't try to come in and get rich instantly. That's almost like the people who are playing lottery. People go to the lottery, they take $500. You know what? I can lose $500. Let me just go in here and buy 500 scratch off tickets. And with these 500 scratch off tickets, I'm just going to go, and see what if one of them hits. If one of them hits, then that's good. So don't think about trying to come in and strike and hit a home run on all of them. It's okay. Warren Buffett said it last year. I was at his meeting. I'm not telling you what I heard. I'm not telling you what I saw. Or what I heard or what somebody told me or heard through the grapevine. It's what I saw. What he said, right? He said, you know what? We missed out on Amazon. Amazon came out to be a great company. We chose Walmart over Amazon. But hey, Walmart didn't do that bad, right? Did you get Amazon? Did you get all the right companies? No. And this is the greatest investor of our time. He said, we missed out on Amazon. This is what I heard Warren Buffett say with his own ear, out of his own mouth. I saw him with my own eyes. He said, I'm surprised what Jeff did. We took Walmart. Exactly, Darius. He said, hey, and this is the greatest investor of our time. He said, back then, Amazon really was a website. But look at Walmart. If all the Walmarts was to close today, what do they have? They have real estate. Look at all those stores. If those stores was empty, they still have real estate attached to them, right? So when you look at that, that's one of the ways he looked at it. So the thing about it is, don't try to get every single one of them right. Because usually when I try to get the next big thing, I open up my portfolio. This is how your portfolio is going to end up looking. You're going to be like, oh, well, this is supposed to be the next big, artificial intelligence. This is supposed to be the next big marijuana stock. This is supposed to be the next big Amazon. This is supposed to be the next big cryptocurrency. This is supposed to be the next big clothing company or whatever. And when you open up your portfolio, you're going to have a bunch of losers, and you're not even going to know what the heck you're investing in. Meanwhile, every day you're going to Walmart, you're going to McDonald's, you are utilizing T-Mobile, Verizon, you are these companies that you're using every day that you've been using since you was a kid, General Motors. But when you open up your portfolio is going to reflect with a bunch of stuff you know nothing about. Okay, so let's take some comments, right? Coca-Cola. People don't even think about Coca-Cola. Warren Buffett is a huge investor in Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola doesn't do nothing crazy, but over time, So be patient. Patience. That's the big thing about the market. Hey, the market takes a dip, you buy. When the market takes a dip, you gotta think about it. Coca-Cola, that's an old company. Coca-Cola has been through Great Depressions. Coca-Cola has been through recessions, expansions. It's been through a lot. It has a lot of wear and tear on it. As I see you guys' comments coming in. But the thing about it is, right now, I think one of the big reasons why the market not collapsed or had a downturn today, everybody is afraid of raising the interest rates. they think when you raise the interest rates, what's going to happen to the market? Why does the federal government raise interest rates? Ask yourself that question. Why does the federal government raise interest rates? Right? So if I had $100, ask yourself, Daniel, are you, first question, are you long term or short term? Are you high risk, low risk? No, ask yourself why when the federal government, when they have their meeting, they can decide if they want to raise the federal government interest rate or if they want to keep it the same or whatever the case they want to be. What happened, or why would the government raise the federal government interest rate? Why? What's the point behind it? Anybody answer that? The first person to answer that? Okay. Somebody says too much money in the market. Inflation's at 4.4. Your dollar's $1 is not worth. Long term with high risk. Chad J. Fool. I'm so stupid. They had that reason, right? Okay, there's because if they don't get down, then you're fired, like Trump said. If they don't get down, you're fired. To cause scarcity. That's what Natasha Coote said. When you look it up, the reason is when the economy is doing too well, when the economy is cooking, the economy is doing too well, the Federal Reserve is supposed to raise interest rates to cool off the economy. When you raise interest rates, William Sell pulled it from Google. When you raise interest rates, it tightens the money in the economy. Why in the heck would you want to tighten the money in the economy? Ask yourself that question, right? That's why when people see, man, unemployment is low, slowing down borrowing. Chad J, why do you want to slow down borrowing? Why do you want to slow down borrowing? The dollars comes with 75% on the debt. Makes the dollars nothing. Why gold and silver? Okay, make sure gold and silver is what it's in demand. Chad J, you're right. Inflation. Slow down inflation. It's like pumping the brakes. Pumping the brakes on a car that's going too fast. When you tap the brakes on the economy, what effect do you think it would have on the stock market? You got it right, Chad. They want to tap the brakes on the economy. So as an investor who's making all this money in equities, they start to wonder, man, is the federal government going to raise interest rates? You know, give me some more thumbs up. I don't see I got like 8 thumbs up, but it's like 18, 20 people in here or something like that I see. But, and even on the playback, you see the playback, give me some thumbs up, you know. But that's only if you like the video. If you don't like the video, give me a thumbs up. But anyway, that's what happens. Okay, William Sutton says, look at Swiss, Canada, Norway, Finland. They don't do that at all. Come on, Seth. You know, this is the American way. And welcome to America, right? Why does it? So as an investor, they're wondering, when they see the market getting hot, unemployment is low, wages are high. Wages are high. Unemployment is low. The economy is doing well. All indications that you're seeing companies are very healthy. Earning reports, companies are going up, 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 up. Amazon is doing great. Google is doing great. All these companies are running off the charts. People start to get, what's about to happen is a question. If I was my thought process, I thought the market was going to do a correction or a recession last year, right? But the thing about it is, I think somewhere, I thought it was going to happen last year. Dare says, thank you, bro. You break it down well for a layman man like me. Hey, you know what? I'm not that smart of a guy, so I can't make it complicated. Housing prices through the roof again. Okay, if interest rates are raised, if the government raised interest rates, does that increase the demand for houses or decreased demand for houses? Above personal standards said, complete your thought process. You know, I'm like a little rat. As soon as I see something, as soon as I hear a lie, oh, I go on to something else. But ask me about that. Chad says lower. That is correct. So even though the housing market is up, right? If the housing market is up, interest rates increase, that's going to cool off. That's going to slow down the demand for houses, right? If we continue to keep building houses, but the demand slows down, what does that do to the price of houses? Supply is up, demand is decreased. What does that do to the price? Because thinking about it, right? Why are taxes higher? See how all this ties in? Exactly. Slow the growth. Slow the growth. We want to, everybody wants the economy to grow, but you don't want it to grow too wildly out of control, where a loaf of bread costs $100. So you want it to do well, but you don't want it to do too well too fast. You want slow and steady growth in your economy. He said, maybe I'll be able to afford one. Exactly. So as an investor, right, go back and watch my video. How should I prepare for a market crash? I read a book called The 5 Steps Mistakes That Investors Make, and I discovered Peter Moloch, whatever it is. I can't think of his last name. And talked to him about coming on the show. How he navigated through the 2008 crash. He put his money in bonds, right? When he put his money into bonds, he took his money out of equities. Woohoo! Are waiting for the book to arrive. Okay. Which book are you talking about above personal standards? When he went on, and let me put that out there too. I know yesterday I was on live. Somebody donated $10. Brandon L. donated $10 with me with my live. You know, I don't really take well to donations per se. I've written 2 books, children's books. Everybody got children or no children. I would rather and prefer that you go out and grab the books and support a product than to just give me money like I'm a homeless man. I'm okay. I don't, I don't want a handout. I work for it. I put out the product and I work for it. If you want to support me, do something like that. I waited on the book. Okay, you got the 5 mistakes. You say the one you mentioned the night before. See, exactly right. And when y'all write that, y'all go. If when you look at that book, right? And I read the book called I read a lot of books. You say, is land better buy than homes in this type of economy? It better move for wealth. You're right. I'm gonna get onto land and real estate, but let me finish my thought process. Definitely going to give that to my kids. What I have on. When you give it to your kid, when you have one, I definitely appreciate that, Jay. Y'all give me some more thumbs up. Get the thumbs up stuff. I see we got 14 thumbs up with 20-some people in here. I want some more thumbs up. Y'all told me that's supposed to be a good thing. I don't know why I keep saying that, but I do. But anyway, the thought process behind this is the economy is supposed to be slowed down. Peter Malouk said, you know what I did? I put my money in bonds. So when the market crashed, I took my money out of bonds and I put them in the equities. So people are trying to, okay, Daniel Harris says, sorry, do they have them in ebooks or audiobooks? Which book are you talking about, Daniel Harris? Peter Malouk's 5 Mistakes, that is an audiobook. You can go to Audible and listen to that book if that's the book you're asking about. I don't know if it's an ebook, but I know it's an audio. And I know it's obviously paperback. But that's one of the things that he did, how he navigated through it. So right now, people are maybe trying to take some of their profits, right? They could be trying to take some of their profits and put them into equity. So people are trying to take some profits off the top. We're looking very good right now. We're looking very healthy. So when we're looking at this in the economy, the Federal Reserve, people are afraid that the Federal Reserve will come in and blow the whistle. People are scared when the economy does well. The economy doing well over consistency, going up, people start to wonder, when will the bottom come? And if the bottom comes, what's going to happen, right? So I hope you guys took some out of those very personal lessons that was there, right? Chad J said blowout. I don't know what you mean by blowout, but okay. But that's the thing about it, right? So now bonds, interest rates. When interest rates go up, what does it do to bond prices? Right? Ask yourself that question. See, all of this stuff ties in together, right? All of this ties in together. You see how the Federal Reserve, by a simple button of knowing that the Federal Reserve will raise the interest rates, what will it do to the economy? Or what do you think? What type of effect? Interest rates are higher. That makes houses more expensive. Houses become more expensive. It creates it decreases the demand for houses because less people may be able to afford them. When interest rates go up, it is harder to slowly try to rebalance. Exactly. When interest rates go up, it makes it the banks raise their requirements to get money from them. Now that the banks require their money, they may require a higher credit score, eliminating more people from buying houses, right? When money is tightened, when money gets tight, it's hard to borrow money. They require a higher credit score. They require more money down. They require you to do more things, which is slowly decreases demand for houses. This is a way, and also when you go to take out a personal loan, when you go get a car loan, all of these things affect your way of life, right? So when people start to borrow money, it's more expensive to borrow money. And when something is more expensive, people borrow less money. If I'm running a company and it's hard for me to buy or borrow money, I can't go borrow money. When companies usually borrow money, they borrow it for expansion, right? So now that I'm trying to expand the company, I'm borrowing money so I can expand my company, hire more people, build more factories, create more projects, do more marketing, pay for Super Bowl ads. Now it's hard. Money gets tight. Guess what? I'm not doing more marketing. Now that I'm not doing that much marketing, I may decrease my marketing team. Now that I decrease my marketing team, that means some people are unemployed. Now that some people are unemployed, they may not go out and buy that brand new car that they was going to buy. Since they didn't buy that brand new car, the person who works at the car dealership, they may not go to the movies every weekend like they used to do. So they stop going to the movies every other weekend or every weekend. They go every other weekend now. Now the person who works at the movie theater, now they, you got to see how that trickles on. Above person standing says personal discipline in this moment in time. Write out a plan. It's not how much you make, but how much you can keep. That's 100% right. Writing out a portfolio, writing out a balance, seeing how much money you can keep in your house is great. But you gotta see how this whole loop paying to each other. Land. I think that was Darius that said that we're gonna get into land, things like that, right? Out here in Denver, Colorado, average decent house probably costs you $350,000. How many people can really buy a house? Middle class people that can really buy a house. It's not that many people. Just because you go in there and you qualify for a loan, they give you a loan and you go and get the house, that doesn't mean you brought it. If you think you own your house, don't pay the mortgage for 3 months and you're going to find out who really owns the house. So most people can't afford a house. But can people afford land? An acre of land, a lot of land. Let's say back in Georgia, back in Mississippi, in the South. Can most people buy land? You can get, how much land can you get for $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, right? There says not right now. So most people can afford land. When you buy land, let's say if you had $5,000, $10,000, more people may have $5,000 or $10,000. If you buy a piece of land, it is yours. You have the deed to the land. The only thing you owe on it is property tax. You got to pay your property tax. Uncle Sam always going to find a way to get a piece. Pay your property tax, right? The program is called NACA to help people who can't afford it to be able to affordable for the average person. 1 acre is like $20,000. That's like $250,000 a month. If you go where I'm from and you had $20,000, you're going to get a whole plantation. You're going to get about 5 acres where I'm from. See, that's Southern California. And now you can buy land online. You can go online and buy land. With $20,000, you can buy yourself in Georgia In Dallas, look at places like Dallas. Look at all that land out there in Dallas. It took me 5 days to drive through Dallas. What can you get for $3,000? Daniel Harris, where you live at? Where you from? I'm from the country, Waynesboro, Georgia. You go down there in Georgia, there's some places down there you can get a whole acre of land for like $2,000-3,000. Newark, New Jersey, yeah, you up in the city. It's gonna be expensive up there. Go online and look down in the South and find land for $3,000. You can get something down where I'm from. You know, say if you got $3,000, you can go and borrow another $5,000. Borrow. You got $3,000, go borrow $5,000. Now you got $8,000. You can go get an acre of land where I'm from, down in Georgia. And how much is the property? Augusta, Georgia. Exactly. Beaming in says Augusta, Georgia. Look how much land you can get down in. Look at those areas around Augusta, Georgia. That's down where I'm from, right? You look at those areas, you can buy a piece of land down there for cheap, dirt cheap. Helsable has it. How much is the How much is the acre of land in Helsable, Beaming? The only thing you have to pay after you own the land is property tax, because you own it. Every year you're gonna have to pay property tax. Just if you was to pay off your house today, you owe property tax, right? This is gonna be my little office here. You know, my boxes here. I just moved in here. This is gonna be my office down here in the basement. So I'm kind of setting it up. So y'all please don't. That's good information, Dykes. Yeah, definitely. Because now when you buy a piece of land, you actually own it. You can use it as collateral. You buy a house. When you buy a house, okay. So let's talk about Apple. Let me see. Somebody just wrote. If you buy a house, you don't really own that house until you pay it off. Now, granted, you can sell it, but while you living in it, it's a debt. Okay, Sean says, let's talk about Apple. I'm worried about my $167 March 9th call I got. Woo! Sean, you don't got caught up, buddy. You got a call. You got 9 call options for Apple at $640 a share. How much those shares are right now? Okay, beam in. They got undeveloped land for $5,000. You hear that, Daryl Harris, who's up in Newark, New Jersey, down in Augusta, Georgia, $5,000. You can have a whole acre of land. Look at it, a whole acre. You know how much the acre is? In Newark, New Jersey, that's probably like, they probably got a whole project on an acre. Okay, assessment with land. Follow how utility companies buy land. They look for stable areas of land from disasters and natural incidents. Okay. Welcome. Thank you for the help, Darius. Okay, anytime. Damn, okay. You had to make sure the land is included with the house that you purchased. That is true. You go out there and buy a house and don't buy the land. Ooh. Okay, so Sean got some March 9th call options. Yep, thank you. I'm gonna look at it. He's gonna look into it. But yeah, definitely. And you know, that's why I appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching this stuff, because this helps you. You know, it brings in a group of people who talking about investing. Look how we just shared that information on buying land. You buy land for $5,000 down in Georgia. Guess what? That is your land. You can now use that as collateral to start a business. You can use that as collateral to borrow up against. You can say, hey, if I don't pay you this loan back, I have $5,000 worth of land down in Georgia. Here's the deed. You can put that deed up and maybe get $50,000 from a bank to be able to go start a business, right? And there's some land that you probably don't even use. You can buy land down there. You know, Minority Think Tank. That's my Think Talk. That's what's up, you know. And you know, and that's the thing about it. You know, I don't like to get on anything that's not going to help anybody. But okay, if you got those Apple calls for March 9th, Sean is looking pretty tough out there in the streets for you, right? Sometimes you win some, sometimes you're going to lose some. And in this case, really, oh wow, I'm on it. But do you get fined for doing nothing with the land? No, you don't get fined for doing nothing with the land. You know, you never been down into the South, have you? Most of the land ain't got nothing but a bunch of trees on it anyway. You know, people hunt on them. It's pretty untamed land. See, I know you, Daniel, by you asking that question, do I have to do something to the land? Man, it's how much land down there did you just Pine trees. It's tons and tons of land. Ain't nothing on it. It's just trees. So no, you ain't gotta go out there and cut the trees and cut the grass. No, you can buy a field. You can go out there and buy a piece of field. All right. The average business license is $55 to $65. That's true. That's true. I'm looking at land in Texas. Yeah, Texas is another cheap spot. And then what you can do, you can buy land as well by getting a little small. You can start an LLC for, get a business license, and you can buy the land, take the $3,000, put it up under your business, then buy the land up under your business. Now that you have a business with collateral, because now your company owns the deed, now you can take that deed and go off and do a, corporation is safer. Yes. You can go out and start an LLC, incorporate however you want to do it. Now it's turned into a business class. So that's what the government does. Buy the damn minerals rights and never sell the lease to it. And lease it and sell the lease to it and rent it out. Yeah, you can rent out your land. Yep, you get to write your own bylaws. Now we're talking about starting your own business. How did we go from the Dow Jones to Bitcoin to starting your own business? I don't know how. Email me that, please. Somebody email Daniel. Help out Daniel Harris, right? Help out Daniel Harris with getting his land. He put out his email address. Daniel Harris. Why you gotta have a crazy name? Okay, it's SLAYAD@gmail.com. That's SLAYASD@gmail.com. Why couldn't it just be Daniel Harris at gmail.com? It all ties together. It does. Business mindset, because it's all about money, bro. It's about growth and knowledge. That's true, and that's what this show is about. You're a gamer, Daniel. It's okay. It's cool. But that's glad that we could help you out with that. And then look through this channel. Daniel Harris, go look at Michael V. Roberts. Michael V. Roberts, he came onto the show. Guy built $1 billion real estate empire. So, and this is why I like listen to you. Money is energy. So go and listen to that episode. Get inspired. It's right here. It's free. It's a podcast. You can watch him on video. He's came onto my television show out in Hawaii. And that's why, right? So go out and look at that, go out and look at, watch that video while he talks about it, as he talks about real estate. From point of view. Okay. She says, not all at once, but learning to see things in a different point of view to change your default future. Yeah. Go out and start a company. It don't cost but to buy a business license and to buy yourself a piece of property. $3,000, you can have a whole acre in the South. It's going to be trees with some deers on it, but you can have a whole acre in the South. So, but definitely. Anyway, let me get back on the topic. Why do y'all think Bitcoin crashed today? Bitcoin went down to $7,000. I think it's up to like 8,500 right now. By the time you hit the refresh button, who knows? It could be at 10,000, 12,000. Right? So, India store. Hold on 1 second. I need to get me a stance here. But yeah, that's the thing about it, right? People are anticipating a market downturn. People are anticipating the market to cool off. He said, man, I don't even know what happened. Facebook was a major blow. How was Facebook a major blow? Oh. Okay, William Self says Bitcoin will drop again, fast growth, no loyalty. You say you cannot liquidate it. I'm glad it did. I'm problem because the regulations of the law. People are saying regulation. When you have regulations of the law, what is that called? What type of risk is that? They banned promoting Bitcoin on Facebook? Are you serious? I didn't hear about that. Why would they ban promoting Bitcoin on Facebook? Wow. All social media is a setup. Kodak coin and red coin is a better buy. Oh my God. It's more coins. How many coins do you really have? Goodness gracious. Something happened in India about crypto, and that causes a scare. Yeah, people said crypto was going to. I was making sure that wasn't a boogeyman back there. But yeah, you're right. You know, they were talking about banning it. That's called political risk, guys. That's what I was getting at. That's called political risk. When you have an investment, you have to look at political risk. What's the likelihood that the political risk of the government turning down your investment? That's the terminology for that, political risk. So tell your wife we all say hello. I think she's back there somewhere. I think that's her that walked down here. Either that's that or Wes, one of them. Government, you know, she don't like to be on camera. She don't like to be seen by the camera and stuff like that. Government regulations and a chokehold on rates. I should make my own coins. I have better luck than Apple. Sean, what made you buy Apple calls? Why did you buy Apple calls, Sean? Wow, you can't run Bitcoin ads. That's messed up. Robinhood app is a no. Go better get a grounded stock advisor. E-Trade, TD Ameritrade. I use TD Ameritrade. But I want to, Sean, what made you buy? Answer that question, Sean. What made you out of the blue just wake up and buy Apple calls? What was your thought process? Did you just see easy money? I brought Apple because they were on an uptrend and they were always having good earnings. What's the terminology? What's that saying? Past predictions, past earnings, or past performance is not a guarantee of future predictions. So you pretty much was buying APPL is Apple stock. So you thought that Apple stock, you were buying it for the earnings report? That's what I'm guessing? That's what you was buying it for? And when you brought it for the earnings report, you just looked at the past and you just said, hey, and you got to think about it. Even if the earnings are good, doesn't mean the stock is going to go up. You got to think about that. Just because the earnings are good doesn't mean the stock is going to go up. The stocks that usually go up are the ones that beat expectations. Apple could meet Wall Street expectations or beat them, but that doesn't mean that it's automatically going to reflect in the stock. So that's something you got to consider. Okay, he said they're overrated in their recent reports. But you got to think about it too. When you're looking at Apple stock and when you're looking at stocks and things like that, you got to ask yourself and tell yourself that when you look at things like that, you got to know what was their projections. Did you know what their projections were? And then if you knew what their projections were they going to beat their projections? Let's take a look at some of this. Bitcoin was invented by an unknown person or group of people under the name, whatever, and released an open source software in 2009. Bitcoins are created as a reward for a process known as Samsung is killing the market right now with the new chip. Samsung products processors for the Mac. Damn the earnings. But no, if you brought it, he has contracts that are expiring March 1st. If you have contracts that are expiring March 1st, when you go to play earnings at the end of the day, it's a 50-50 crapshoot. 50-50. You pretty much got a 50-50 chance. If you went and brought calls for earnings, you got a 50% chance that they're going to go up or down. So, but now, this is getting longer than I expected. This is like 50 minutes. But like as always, guys, I enjoyed talking to you guys. I know the small stocks are the ones buying into. But I enjoyed, it said, oh damn, now under what you mean? Yes, 50-50 is a short time frame. Yeah, it's a 50-50. If you brought March 9th calls, I'm not sure when the earnings come out for Apple, but if you brought March 9th calls And right now, Apple took a little downturn today. You know, you got to look at the Greek symbols. Look how the delta, look how the theta is all affecting you, right? You could be in a hard spot going into, hoping that you brought them for 650 a share, hoping that they'll go up. Then the market took a boo boo today. Now you got to worry about that theta. You may be able to rebound, but you're gonna need a strong surprise from Apple. So, but yeah, they're looking at that quarterly. He's looking at it. I'm pretty sure he brought, thinking through, sleep on it. Yeah, I think that he brought, it's a 50-50 crapshoot right now. Just like yesterday, Amazon released its earnings, it went up, Google went down. Or you could straddle. If you're thinking a big move is going to happen, straddle. Because if you put your money on calls for the earnings, either you're going to make a lot of money or you're going to lose a lot. That's it. You're pretty much going to lose everything you got, but not by much, But yeah. So anyway, guys, that's what I want to tell you guys about that. I'm glad we had like a little think tank we had going on here. We got off in the real estate and everybody started, helping each other out and emailing each other and all other stuff like that. She said, thank you for your time. I definitely appreciate all of y'all he said, thank you for your time. I don't know everybody's gender in here. I know William Self, but I don't know everybody else's gender. But thank you guys for the time. I like these think tanks. I just got through doing my show. You're a male? Okay, cool. But I just got through doing my show. I did a show it's probably going to be uploaded maybe this weekend or next week. It's called by Tawana Smith. So she was a pro athlete, and we talked about financial literacy and pro sports. So, hopefully you guys enjoy her stuff. And you know what? When you listen to those interviews, when her interview drops, I'm giving away a copy of her book. I'm letting y'all know that now. To the first person who comment under her video when it drops. That's a hint. Most of the people that come on the show, they usually give away something. So, yeah, check that out. So, when it comes out. So anyway, appreciate you guys for stopping by. I got to get out of here. It's late on Friday night. And thank y'all for tuning in and coming in. And, thank you for so many ideas. Yeah, thank you, Blessed and Beautiful. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you guys for supporting me. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a like. It said, William said, bro, I will talk to you about the op I have later, man. I will be working with retired athletes, bro, and things like that. But yeah, definitely. Let me know. We got so many athletes that done stop by here. I appreciate everybody for taking the time out. I got to get out of here. Appreciate it. Peace. Be safe. I got some crap on my sleeve. I don't know what that is. But you guys be out. Be safe. Thank you. Peace.